Hey everyone, it's Final Round and my name is Jordan. This video will be for Thursday's slate of games. We have 6 games and we are getting to that part of the season. Like we were already at that part of the season where teams were tanking and sitting a bunch of players, which wasn't normal, where they started so early with all of the, randomly inactive guys. Usually it was those last 2 weeks of basketball where teams would start doing it and you'd have to worry about it. And even with the teams who have locked up playoff spots, resting those guys, and you just find a few competitive games. But yeah, we've been dealing with that for a while now. But for these last 10, 11 days, I believe it is, I would just say take it lightly. And then even when the playoffs come around, don't think the playoffs are like easy to bet on. Playoffs teams make adjustments every single game, so you have to kind of watch the games and predict what an adjustment might be towards the other teams. Getting a little ahead of myself, I will jump into this slate. You will see images that come up on the screen right here. This is from a data app called Outlier. There will be a link in the description for a 7-day free trial for Outlier. And I'm going to talk about the games, give some good matchups that I see, that I like, and then I will put my plays in the pinned comment. And you will see this slate, there are just a lot of tanking teams versus teams that are in the playoffs. This first game is the Bucks at the 76ers. Bucks are 11.5-point favorites. Giannis is probable. AJ Green is questionable. And the Sixers have no Andre Drummond, Maxey, and Oubre. And now even Gershon Yabusele is questionable. The Bucks are holding on pretty tight to the 6th seed. They probably could lock it up with this game here, taking a look at the schedules. So they just need to win this one. They just need to win a game, I believe, and they can lock up that 6th spot and not end up in a play-in game. And then these Sixers obviously are tanking. So high blowout potential here. I'm going to mention the matchups that are really good for the starting players for the Bucks. And then I'll point out someone who could get extra minutes in a blowout that you could take a look at. So point guard position is a good matchup for the Bucks. That is Ryan Rollins, 5th most points allowed to the point guard position. Small forward Kyle Kuzma, 8th most points allowed, 2nd most rebounds allowed. And then Giannis, the points matchup isn't great, but with so many injuries, these rankings, who knows what it's like with these rosters being different every single game at this point. But they do give up the most rebounds and the most assists to the power forward position over the past month. And then Brook Lopez, 2nd most points to the center position. He had 3 20-point games with Dame out. Then he had 2 games where he was kind of passive. It was kind of a tough matchup, and then I believe one was a blowout. And then he had a really good matchup last game against the Suns again. I pointed that out, and he shot the ball, and he scored 20 again. So could be an opportunity here for another 20-point game for Brook Lopez, but it would have to be competitive. So the guy I'm going to point out that gets extra minutes in blowouts is Kevin Porter Jr. At the backup point guard position where they have him slotted at. Like I said, 5th most points to the point guard position, and it does look like in blowouts, he does get more minutes, he does get more shots up. The 76ers really have just no answer here for Giannis or even Brook Lopez down low. Their starting center is going to be Adam Bona. I believe that's how you say it. Second game is the Magic at the Wizards, who will be on a back-to-back. I know, sounds awful already. Magic, 13.5-point favorites. Since the Wizards are on a back-to-back, they're going to have an excuse to sit some of their starters. They were already sitting some like Chris Middleton. We could see Jordan Poole randomly get ruled out. For this one, that injury report will just pop up during the day. If you have your notifications on for the injury report, I am sorry. It just buzzes all day long with injuries. At this point of the season, it is annoying, but I have to do it because I have to keep up with this stuff. The Magic are in the good playing game, and they are behind the Bucks. They have 5 games left, and they're 5 games behind the Bucks. Take like an absolute collapse by the Bucks to lose all those games, and the Magic win all these games. to get that spot. So the Magic are playing to not fall into the bad playing game, because that is definitely possible for them if they lose. So they have a lot to play for here. Wizards, they do not. They want to lose this game. They did play each other on March 21st, so not too long ago. It wasn't necessarily like a blowout. It was enough for Magic players to have a good game. So good matchup here for Paolo Banchero. They give up the 5th most points and the 7th most rebounds to the power forward position. In that game on March 21st, he had 30 points, 8 rebounds, and 5 assists. And that was a 15-point win. So with the Wizards on a back-to-back, another high blowout potential game could get ugly. So if you guys could please like the video. If you haven't, please subscribe to the channel. If you have a little bit of extra time, could you leave a comment for the algorithm? Could you just put the number 5? That helps get this video out there for more people to see. And also, if you use Prizepicks, you want to get away from it, try something new out, something with dynamic payouts, more options. Check out Underdog Fantasy, Sleeper, ParlayPlay, ChalkBoard, or better. Underdog's matching your first deposit up to $1,000. The rest are doing up to $100, and better is matching your first bet up to $250. Links are in the description. That'll take you there. Promo code is FINEAROUND11. This next game is the Grizzlies at the Heat. The Heat will be on a back-to-back. And there's no news yet, but there is some controversy right now about Ja Morant making a gun gesture. To me, I don't think it's really much or anything, but he just has a history of doing stuff like that. So they may suspend him. I don't think they should, especially with where the Grizzlies are and the playoff hunt and all that. It would just be detrimental just for them to lose him for a game just over something so dumb. So I hope he plays, but we will see what the NBA decides. They're investigating it. The Heat, they didn't play without Andrew Wiggins in the first game of the back-to-back. We'll see if he plays. The Heat right now are playing to get into the good playing game, so they do have something to play for. The Grizzlies are tied right now with the Timberwolves for the 6th seed, so loser would fall into a play-in game, so they need to win this game. They played on March 15th. The Grizzlies won by 34 points, and that was without Ja Morant. So a matchup that I do like that I found is Desmond Bane. The Heat give up the 7th most rebounds to the shooting guard position. In that game on March 15th, he had 22 points, 10 rebounds, and 8 assists. He pulled off a double-double with this good rebounding matchup for the shooting guard position. And a guy I would consider, especially if Ja Morant is suspended. Scottie Pippen Jr. has actually been playing pretty well as a backup point guard, and then when Ja Morant was out, he was starting to get a lot more playing time, and he was playing well. In this game, he had 11 points, 6 rebounds, and 11 assists as a backup point guard. 4th game is the Timberwolves at the Nets. 13-point spread. Nets are tanking. They're sitting Cameron Johnson, Zaire Williams. They have some other guys who are questionable, like D'Angelo Russell. They could end up sitting most of their starters here. This one could get pretty ugly. Timberwolves, they need that win. Like I said, they're tied with Memphis, and to get out of the playing game and get into that 6th seed. So they're going to want to win this game. They're going to play hard. This could get ugly. So both of these teams play at bottom 10 paces. So it's not like it's not going to be like a quick blowout, because usually if you get a really good team against a bad team that plays fast, it can get ugly quickly. So the Nets play pretty slowly. So a matchup that I do like, and hopefully he gets enough time to get this done, and it's not like a nasty blowout before the 4th quarter, is Rudy Gobert. The Nets give up the 8th most rebounds to the center position. He's been scoring very well as of late, getting a lot of double-doubles. But rebounding-wise, he's had 12, 25, 13, 16, and 11 the last 5 games. So keep an eye out on his lines, or you could just take his double-double and pair it with Timberwolves money line, see where that comes out at. This next game is the Trailblazers at the Raptors. Trailblazers are just 1-point favorites, and the way they've been playing, I would say I really like the Trailblazers here, especially with the injury report for the Raptors. Raptors are definitely tanking. The Blazers are in a lottery spot, and as I've mentioned plenty of times, they're not actively sitting guys on purpose. So Jeremy Grant is doubtful for them, and then Anthony Simons is questionable, and then Scoot Henderson's still out with a concussion. The Raptors are already sitting Jakob Poeltl and Emmanuel Quickly, and Scotty Barnes is questionable. I'm just going to keep pointing out the guy that I keep pointing out with the Trailblazers. The matchup isn't like amazing. Like, it's not going to make you like smile real big. It's just like a small smile. So Denny Avdia, they give up the 15th most points to the power forward position, where he will be at when Jeremy Grant is out. 10th most rebounds, and then the 5th most assists allowed. Past 2 games, he's had 32 points, 15 rebounds, 10 assists, and then he had a 33.7 rebound, 4 assist game. So I will keep repeating it until the season ends. He is the heart and soul of the Trailblazers right now and doing absolutely everything for them. And he is really earning a paycheck whenever that contract ends, if he keeps this up. And then the game that is going to be competitive, should be competitive, and the game everyone's going to be excited about is the Warriors at the Lakers. Jonathan Kuminga is questionable and LeBron is probable. Warriors are the 5 seed. They could fall into the play-in game. Like I mentioned, the Grizzlies and the Timberwolves are fighting for that 6 seed. Warriors are right there in the mix. And then the Lakers are the 4 seed. They could get the 3 seed, but if they lose, they could start falling into the play-in game. So there's a big battle right there in the middle of the West right now, and this is going to be a huge game. So not many good matchups to go around, so I'm just going to say this is a game for the superstars. And I'm just going to talk about the history for a couple of these guys. So Steph Curry just dropped 52 points in pretty much a must-win game against the Grizzlies because they're right there in that mix in the middle of the West. They needed that win. So he takes 31 shots, takes 23 pointers, and drops 52 points. Checked his 3 games against the Lakers this year, and it's pretty much the same story. So he had 38 points on 24 shots, and then he had a 13-point game on 17 shots. It was like 4 for 17. It was just an awful shooting game. And then he had 37 points on 35 shots. So something tells me he's going to be shooting, high 20s at least. I'm going to be keeping an eye out on Steph Curry. Last place they want to be is the play-in game. And then LeBron, I'm pretty sure most of these are without Luka. But his history this season against the Warriors has been great. 31 points, 4 rebounds, 10 assists, 25 points, 5 rebounds, 12 assists, 42 points, 17 rebounds, and 8 assists. The Warriors do kind of have a soft spot against the power forward position, and I think Luka makes it a little bit easier for LeBron to score because a lot of attention has to go over to Luka. I wouldn't take any LeBron points line if it looks too inflated, but definitely assist looks great, or rebounds, assists for LeBron. And then Steph Curry, definitely points, but he did fill up stat sheet with rebounds and assists last game against the Grizzlies, but I think a lot of that has to do with the pace that they play, and they just get a lot of shots up. So this one's for the superstars. So if you guys would like to discuss lines further, I have a Discord, link is in the description. You can hop on in there, talk about NBA, baseball, March Madness, all that good stuff. That is free, and I'm going to get this edited and get it out to you. We're just going to do our best over these next 10 days or so, and then we'll have some playing games. Those should be really competitive, and we'll start navigating our way through the playoffs. The game ones are nice, but yeah, once teams start making adjustments, it's not as easy. Yeah, but you will find a line pretty much every playoff that will stay consistent. I can just remember 2 years ago, Michael Porter Jr. rebounds, assist was like a lock, and that was the year the Nuggets went all the way. So it's not going to be perfect because the lines are going to get juiced up everywhere. So it's final round. God bless you all. I will catch you on the next one. Bye.